things anime.
We're here, and I thank you. And so the questionnaire is out. It's posted. It's posted on Facebook. It's posted on the website. Hometown Weekly, he confirmed that he would put it in the paper, you know, to announce it. I emailed it to Roberta. I've emailed it to Colleen for the patch, and I've emailed it to Pete Peterson for his blog. And it's open until January the 8th. Hopefully, Tracy kindly put together a checklist. Owen, can I please share my screen? If you can hear me.
Just 1 second.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to make you a co-host, Anime, so
All
if
right.
anybody else wants to share their screen, you can just give them the same right to co-host.
Lovely, thank you. All right, I'm gonna try this. And Chrome.
Where did you just say that the last thing you said is actually something I didn't put on the checklist? That's a great idea.
Oh yeah, Pete Peterson's blog.
Yeah, so I'll add that. That's good.
Oh yeah, okay, so here,
That's good that we all look at it. Okay.
yeah, can everyone see this? Cool, and I'll share it as well. So thank you, Tracy, for putting this together. It's great to have a checklist because I sometimes forget. So direct email, Tom Erb sent that out. Hopefully you guys got that. Facebook, Tim Baker put that on there. Thank you, Tim. Also on the website, thank you. Tracy, what do you mean by email from chair?
I thought that would be a thing that if something was super important, that you would write to people that were important on your own as you're the committee, in addition to just leaving it to MailChimp, because of course, you know, my feeling, the personal touch is always the way to go. So
Sure.
I'm thinking if there was a big announcement, you would write to Pete and to the selectmen and maybe to Christine and a few other people, just saying, hey, I just wanted, a note from the chair is always very nice.
Okay, no, good point. Thank you. I didn't know if that chair meant Mike, but okay, subcommittee communications. Thank you, Tracy. Okay.
Yeah, I know nothing about the other big people.
No, that's cool.
There you go.
So Tracy, did you say you contacted the concerned citizen?
I did. So you know what, as soon as we're done on this meeting, I'll email both Tim and that person and see if I can get him approved.
Okay, cool.
I'll get that going.
All right, so cool. Same with Friends.
Well, I don't know who the person is in Friends. Does anybody?
You can, and you can look it up. It'll tell you who the administrator is.
And so I'll see if we can get Tim on that one, because I feel like those he should be able to just easily share, through the Facebook page, and takes a little pressure off all these other bits.
Okay, cool. Are you cool with that, Tim? Okay, awesome. Thank you. And then Nicole, Coalition, PTO, New in Town. Nicole, are you cool with that? Like reposting?
Sorry, yes.
That's all right.
I'm like trying to read something at the same time. It's not working. Hold on.
I know, we're all multitasking for sure. Okay, cool. So Nicole, you don't mind reposting Tim's questionnaire out?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Great, awesome. And Tracy, you'll do the other ones?
Oh yeah, sure.
You wrote your own name there? That would be great. And Nicole also mentioned to add to this list the blogs, right, Nicole?
I'm sorry. I have a lot of children screaming in the background.
Yeah,
the
no,
blogs.
Cool. Okay, so we'll update that to Nicole for the principal blogs.
Yeah, because it should just be easy to just have the principals' names, right? And one email saying all four of them, can you just do it instead of individually having to write to each of them?
Yep, no, that's great.
It's actually, yes. I think there's, if we just ask for all of them to have just a separate section, and we could just, even for the project itself.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Add things in as we have them.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Does anyone have any other things to add to our checklist?
I also thought we could add CPAC has, I don't know, should we be going for other like community and school groups?
Yep, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Awesome, perfect. All right, how about community-wise? So, as I said, I did Council on Aging, and Roberta was quick to say, absolutely, she'll forward that out. So,
All right, I'll add that. That's a good one. I don't know, is that like a Facebook page or is that more
she does direct email, so she's got a very well-connected group of people.
okay.
So she said she was on top of
Right,
it.
so I'll put that under, maybe that's email from chair. That's kind of,
Okay, yeah, okay, good one.
okay.
Sorry, Tim Knight, were you saying something?
Oh, I had added, like the sports, like the various the lacrosse, the soccer. Or
Oh,
the,
yeah, right. I'll add those in.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
if you want to put a name to, like, that would be through email, and, you know, I try to, but if you want someone to do that, I can do that if you want.
Oh, awesome, thank you. Cool.
I don't know, did you have New in Town or any of that other stuff?
Yep, New in Town's there. No, that's good. Awesome. And maybe Tim Knight, this can be merged onto that document you created. So we've got like one doc.
Yeah, and up to you guys. I'm glad to maintain it, and if that's noise to you, I don't, you know.
No, I'm grateful if you can. So I think that'd be great. So really, and then in January, we're going to skip meetings on the 24th, obviously, and the 31st. And then we'll meet again on the 7th. And then we have the training on the 12th with a lot of folks. And I think it's going to be the, oh, wait a minute. I see Larry is over here. Promote to panelist. Okay, I think I did that. Okay, great, cool. Yeah, I suppose what I'd love to do is once we have our training, we're going to hit the ground running. But I didn't know if folks had a, part of this drip campaign. Hi, Larry, sorry, there was a huge confusion. The agenda said 12, the Zoom said 12:30. I apologize.
Yeah, no, not to worry, not to worry. And sorry, I got caught up in something in the interim, so sorry I'm a few minutes late.
No, that's all right. We just kind of quickly recap the questionnaires out there, websites, Facebook. I've asked Colleen at the Patch. It should be posted in the paper. Council on Aging said she would forward it out to her folks. So a postcard, Tim Baker put a postcard together, which looks great, and sent that to Christine. One thing, Tim Baker, do you know if the survey is on the town website? Or maybe Gina, do you know that? I can check later, but just make sure that
Yeah, it is, Anna.
Oh, goody.
Yep.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make doubly sure. So, and that's open till the 8th. Oh, Larry, so that timing worked well with, I think the last time we spoke, we were talking about timing and, what's his name? Brian, if
Yes.
the timing worked when we closed the survey where he has time to analyze and, go over the data, and then we're gonna have our forum, correct?
Yeah, and Tina, do you know, did they commit to that?
Yeah, they said that they would be able to. So Brian has a couple colleagues that's working with him because he may be on family leave. He's expecting a baby very soon, I guess any day now. So niches, they are lined up to help us with the analysis. And I think the only thing that we weren't sure is if there was a date set yet for that meeting.
Oh yeah. So what did you guys talk? Oh, there's Lynn. Hi, Lynn. I don't know, Gina and Lynn, did you guys talk about that in your working group?
Yeah, God, I'm sorry. What?
No,
didn't-
that's okay. I was wondering, Tina just said, do you guys have a date for the neighborhood public forum where we would go over the traffic analysis and then invite police chief,
Yeah.
etc.?
No, we have not set, and actually our working group meeting had to be postponed. So we
Okay.
did not discuss. it, no.
We talked about having it closer to the third week of January, as I recall.
Yeah, but not an
Yeah.
exact date.
We talked about doing the week of January 25th. So we just sort of need to pick a date, I would guess. And then we did have a good meeting with the Chief Garrett and Mo Goulet from DPW.
Awesome.
That was Tuesday. And talked about a lot of things which we could give you the heads up on, but they were happy to participate in some neighborhood kind of meeting in January.
Oh, that is wonderful. That's great news. Okay. Beautiful. And then that would be great to let the community know that they're involved and part of the conversation as well. So that's cool. All righty. So yeah, so any thoughts on what topic should be our first for that drip campaign, so to speak?
Anna Mae, just one item for my notes.
Yeah.
You started to say, I think right before Larry joined, what was the date of the training?
January 12th at 10 a.m.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And then we'll have our next subcommittee meeting on January the 7th. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, any thoughts on the first campaign topic?
I like meet the committee, but I've said that, so.
That could be embedded maybe. Anyone else? Well, perhaps, your working group can decide that. How about, or at least give us a couple of options. How about that?
Yeah,
Gina and Lynn, can you guys, and Larry perhaps talk about it as a working group and
sure.
let us know
Which one will go first, sure.
yeah, at least give us a couple of thoughts and then we can kind of take it from there. How about that?
Anna Mae, sorry to ask if it's redundant, but so where did we land? Because I missed last week. Did we land with, we're trying to send these out, like what's the frequency?
Yeah, you know what, Tim, I liked how you, by season. So, in terms of, I think you were saying winter, what topics are we going to attack? So,
Did you talk about that, cover that at all last week?
yes, we did. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no. So I don't think we're aiming for like a topic a week or something or other, but I suppose first, once we determine what the topic is, maybe there will be a more natural kind of flow to it. So
Yeah, I think weekly is too much. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just too much work, to be honest.
Maybe,
monthly
maybe
season.
Larry could chip in with how he sees in the design process, what's new and what he's dealing with in these time, if it's every quarter or every couple of months or whatever, but like maybe there could be.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking the same thing, which is right now we're working on schedule and thinking through how is this thing going to play itself out over the course of the spring.
okay.
And maybe that's a good thing to start saying, what's coming up. What are the things to anticipate and, be sure and participate if you want to have your voices heard or some variation of that. The other thing that as part of that, Tina and I were working on sort of the getting feedback on sustainability because that wants to go a little faster.
Right.
And I think the other one that's moving a little faster as well as traffic. So to Tim's point, those are the kind of things we're aiming for in addition to there's the formal meeting with the FAS of the MSBA in January. That date hasn't been set just yet, but there's one of two dates that will be scheduled for. And then of course the board meeting in February, assuming that they will move forward with that. So to that point, maybe, you know, meet the committee with schedule and process is a good sort of start of the new year kind of way to get a message out.
Super. And then could we do like a bit of a summary, like where we've, you know, maybe just, you know, new year, new beginnings, you know, let's just kind of like start our campaign with maybe a summary and then the scheduling, and that could be part of the drip. Does that sound like a decent idea?
Yeah, that to me, you know, because I think everybody in their mind has this, you know, sort of restart January, well, whatever it is, January 4th this year. There's this sort of, you know, and we joke about it in the office, it's the start of the new semester.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everybody sort of carries that around in their brains of, oh, let's get going again. So, you know, to your point, maybe a recap and here's what's coming ahead is a good thing to start the new year with. Let's get organized.
Good. All right. I like that. So who would be able to do I suppose, Gina, Lynn, Tim, is this something, can you guys put it like a summary together?
Yeah, we can work on that, Annabelle.
Okay. And then Larry, you'll put like the new schedule, you and Tina?
Yeah, we have a draft, Lynn, we want to review with you and Mike before it gets too far. But, you know, just sort of looking, of course, across the spring with the aim that we're ready for submission at the end of June. What are the steps that we're going to have to go through? And then, you know, part of it is figuring out what decisions, what votes do we need from people like the Board of Selectmen. Okay,
no, that would be great. Super, I think that would be a great way to start.
Okay.
This is Bob. Just a question. As these, I think your ideas are great. Let's start with that intro. But is this an interactive piece? In other words, you send the information out, people will respond. How does that work?
Oh, so this would be, you know, pushing it out to all our various avenues. And then, but we do have a specific email. So if people have questions, they email dalestreetproject@gmail.com. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah, basically, because you know you're going to get some responses, and I was wondering what's the process of addressing responses and questions that will be generated by the campaign.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, I would just think we need to anticipate that there will be questions and have some process in place to.
No, good point.
To answer them.
Yeah. So that is a really good point. So I think because we do have the email, but what do you guys think? I mean, those of you who have more experience in this realm, to Bob's point, if people are emailing, how and probably more folks than just the person, for example, who wrote the email, who asked the question, would like to know the answer. What would be the best way to disseminate the information? I mean, is it part of our meetings, the SBC meetings? Is it another, to create
Generally, we would just do, I mean, it depends on the question and the feedback and, you know, how generally, like if we think it would be of general interest or very specific to that person, but we would normally just, like, I would think, just make it an FAQ.
Okay.
I think to try to, like, you know, I think you can inundate people with some things they don't really care about if you just sort of say, oh, you know, so-and-so asked this question, so we're sending it out to everybody now. Here's our answer. Like I would say just incorporate it into an FAQ, unless the person, you know, specifically wants it more broadly distributed or, you know, something like that.
Okay, or if there's a theme, you know, we can address more publicly. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if there's a whole, right, if it looks like there's a trend coming, that's different.
Okay.
That's my feeling.
Yeah, no, I like that. Does that sound good, Bob? I think that was a good point, though.
No, I think it makes sense. I think as Tim says, you don't, you know, one question, you don't want to initiate a broad discussion but if it's an individual, then just, to be proactive and respond to it. And as you say, if you get 20 questions from individuals all on the same topic, then I think you can bring it up as in an FAQ or something of that nature. But I agree, I'm not suggesting at all that, it becomes another formality other than just anticipating that there will be questions. And if we put the information out, it's good to be timely in the response, but measured.
But I do think that's a good point, Bob, about the time. It's very important people do get responded to, even if it's and fairly quickly. So even if it's just saying, thank you for your question, we will get back to you. But like, people get frustrated if they send a question and don't hear back.
Right. I mean, because so much work is going into the communication, a response that's timely, but, it's well worth it, and not because otherwise you do yourself a disservice by not doing that.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Bob. And I think that maybe at the end of these, whatever drip campaign we have, whatever the topic is, we can have a little disclaimer on the bottom saying, if you have a question, comment, concern regarding this, please put blank in the heading and send to our email. And I think this way we can kind of keep track of the questions based on the categories that we have in the drip campaign. And this way we're addressing people, because that's the point of getting out this information to the public, is to hear what they have to say, and they want to be heard. So I think that maybe we can just add that little disclaimer at the bottom.
And I would say that somebody should be point person for that. I'm assuming you're a Tim or somebody would be point person for collecting these and making sure they get answered.
Absolutely.
And probably going through you, Anna Mae, at least to say, these questions can be, you don't want a lot of answers going out that haven't been vetted to some extent. I mean, when we have them on some of our projects, like the chair is really anxious to be involved in, some depends on the chair, but how the questions being answered, because they don't want to have it come back at them. So I would just say that maybe they run the answer by you, and if you feel it even needs more broader engagement, it's not just simply answering. You'll find sometimes they have an agenda behind the question. They're not just answers.
I hear you, yeah. And I think, Lynn and Anna Mae and we will go through this. And I think after the first drip campaign that we do, I think we're going to start seeing the responses, and maybe we'll have to sort of massage or finesse how we do respond to these things, but definitely, Tim, we will, Lynn and I and Anna Mae will be looking out for these responses.
Yeah, so who gets these emails? I think it's Lynn, right? Or both you? Okay, all right. So Lynn, how have you been dealing with the questions that have been coming in thus far?
Well, up until just recently, we were adding them to the FAQ that we originally had.
Okay.
I think this next round, I think we should do a FAQ what I think we should do is write a report on the results of the traffic survey. And then below that, answer any questions that, an FAQ of questions that come in regards to that.
Okay.
If that makes sense to you. I mean, more as a report, like we can also add it to the FAQ list that we have ongoing as well.
Okay, but to Tim Bonfati's point about the emails, in terms of a response, thank you for your response kind of thing. I think you guys have been on that.
We've been responding to them. I'm not sure that we've always said thank you for the responses. We responded
or just
back,
to acknowledge an email.
Yeah, we probably have to go back and do better at responding to individuals that we received their response and what we've done with it.
Yeah, I think if that could be part of the process, just a response to an email, that would be great.
Yep. Just net it out. Yeah. As a rule, we try to summarize to individuals. and where appropriate, we add on to the FAQ.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, Anna, as you have make a report to the broader committee that, you know, following one of the drip campaign print, you know, announcements, you would summarize perhaps
Yeah.
if there were categories or specific questions, was there a response, you know, were they in any general area, just so the whole committee could get a sense of that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think the problem that has been lately, and I think we should do better at like some procedures, there's been several people that have been accessing the email account and responding. And I think that we should probably put some protocols in place for once we respond to people, I mean, that everybody that's accessing this email account gets copied on it.
Oh, so there's more than one person. It's not just you, Lynn?
Yeah, Mike Quinlan, I thought you guys were accessing it as well too.
No.
It seems to be 2 or 3 different people that have accessed the email account.
Yeah, so if you could please, yeah, you know, Mike, we fly everything by him anyways, because to Tim Bonfanti's point, I just feel like he should know what's being said, or at least approving, so everybody's on the same page. But if we could kind of firm up who's getting those emails and a system that they've been acknowledged, you know, and we've got summaries or themes or something or other around email communication, that would be great.
Okay, great.
Super, thank you. I'm glad.
I think Lynn just summarized my point, which was a protocol, right? And I think part of that protocol is how to control the response as well as having the response, so that, you know, it goes out with one voice.
For
So
sure.
I think that would fit into the protocol. One, it's acknowledging it, but that acknowledgement's important. The response, you know, needs to be uniform, I think.
Yeah. Okay, and then we can add that to our document of communications.
Would you mind being part of that, getting that, Anna Mae, those emails? I think you should get them.
Yeah. And then we'll figure out the best process moving forward. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I think it could be.
Anna Mae, you have access to the email account, right?
No.
Okay, I'll send you the access and password.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
I was going to say, in a couple cases, what we've seen is you could respond to people with a cut and paste from a FAQ, if that makes sense. So you're not making up an answer to folks, but you're just feeding them something that's been already vetted.
Correct. That's
is a way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not making stuff up.
Yeah. No, nor to say, well, you know, look for the FAQ for the response to that, because people feel like, oh, I didn't get an answer.
Yeah.
You can do a cut and paste, and then you're not worrying about the validity of the information. And you're being reasonably timely.
Okay, beautiful.
That's a good.
So yeah, Lynn, if you could get that to me, that would be great, and just let us know who has access, and then we'll get those protocols in place.
Okay, thank you.
Super, thank you. Oh, I'm glad that was brought up. Super. All right. Any other topics that we should talk about? All right, so just to recap here, we've got our questionnaire out there. We've got the communication checklist and infrastructure post. Tracy will update a couple of those things. You'll connect Tim Baker to some of those key people on Facebook so he can repost, and folks have their jobs for reposting. And then the folks who are also on the working committee will talk about the drip, but I think we've got our first topic. It sounds like that you can confirm with the other groups just to recap where we're coming, or where we have been and where we are now. And then looks like some future topics are the sustainability and the traffic, And Lynn, you are going to forward me the access to the email and we'll get protocols around that so it's more streamlined and efficient. Does that sound like a decent recap?
Yep, and then I just think I can, if you agree, reach out to Tom, you and I, just to make sure that everyone's updated that contact list Tim and Nicole did. So to make sure those emails are in his MailChimp account.
Right.
Right. So I think that that's like just the next piece to make sure that that email list is as current as possible. And we can add some folks if we need to, and then we can maybe write on January 4th to do a few posts with, I think we had made that graphic to join the
Yes.
the email list, so we can maybe route that first thing in January so that it sets it up for the rest of the campaigns.
Beautiful. All right.
And, you know, I think we're at 400, but I can't remember, it's on that list that we keep track of it. You know, each week we're getting a few more, but we can, you know, I think there was like 300 or 400 emails the last time, Anna Mae, I can't remember, but I think we could definitely try to get it up.
It was like 397. Yeah, for sure. Okay, great.
Did you see can you see my updates, or I need to send it back to you?
If you changed it on there, it's on there, I'm sure, but
Okay.
I'll double check.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
And there's one Q&A, and it's from Chris McHugh Potts. When will the documents that were missing from the draft PSR be made available to the public? These documents are an important part of the project communications for anyone looking to verify factual information. Lynn or Gina?
Well, we're working on putting those pieces in another draft PSR, and we should be having that up fairly soon, Tina. And then we're going to send that to the SBC for review. And I think what we'll do
Our
is,
goal was to post it today.
yeah, to the website.
Right, so that it should be, the link to the posted documents should be included on the agenda for Monday night's SBC meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Wait, I think there's one more. All right, you're welcome. All right, perfect. Anything else, folks? Sorry, my house is crazy.
Good thing.
All right, I did tell them to be quiet. All righty, folks. Well, thank you very much. I think we have a meeting on Monday, but if not, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Ciao.
Happy holidays.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.